What is the success mantra of the Chief Minister? He's 5 times Chief Minister, won 5 consecutive elections, now on road to history to become the longest serving Chief Minister. What is his mantra of success? What is his management style?
I think it's very simple. What in Bhagavad Gita Krishna has told. Do your work and leave everything rest to God. That's it.
Wow.
He does it very, very nicely. He has no expectations. What should be the outcome? What should be the output? He doesn't break his head. He puts his 100% in whatever he does and then leaves the rest for the results to come. And people pay the results. And in public service, if you ask me how he is very successful, he is using politics as a medium of serving the people, not vice versa. He is not using public service to be in politics or to be in post. And the best part is, people of this state have understood that this man is not doing politics, he is doing public service, and he is in politics for doing public service, not the other way around. And that is the reason, like you said, 7 times consecutively he has got the most popular chief minister in the country. I remember the first time he got award was in 2003.
Yes.
I was sub-collector, a young sub-collector in a place called Dharamgarh in Kalahandi. The day that you were India Today, that time I think digital print was not there. He had carried the hard copy and he was reading and he had come with that copy. Maybe he picked up in the airport or somewhere. So that is the first time he got 2003 and now we are in 2024, 2 decades. Imagine the kind of, I gave this example somewhere else as well. To get first rank in a classroom, all of us have to really struggle. To get first rank in a school, you have to really work hard. If you have to get district first in a school, district first when you are in school, it's so tough. And every month it is a struggle for a child to be in that number 1. Some month the child slips. So much of dedication, so much of sacrifice, so much of hard work, everything goes into to reach the top, whether it is sports, whether it is any field, you take any field. But being in number 1 at national level for so long, and that too in such a subjective field in which every angle one can scrutinize, and with the invent of social media, 24 hours your activities are scrutinized. But still to maintain that number one rank in the country as the best or most popular chief minister of the country is something which I would say that it's because he is seeing this as public service, not as politics. The day he thinks that people have not appreciated for his public service, he will stop his public service. He will stop it. He will stop politics.
Wow.
That is the kind of personality he is, if I know him very well.
He doesn't hang on to power?
No, hang on to post or power or politics.
Wow. Okay, but
he is completely unlike a politician. And that is why he has been so successful in politics.
That's what I want to check with you. I want to know, you have seen the transformation that's happened of the state. How has Mr. Naveen Patnaik changed since the first time you met him in Ganjam and you served him? And now, what is the big difference you see in him? Has there been a change in philosophy? Has there been an impatience? What is it that is the growth factor in Naveen Patnaik?
I don't think there is any change in his core values. I have seen him coming back from Rayagada, a district called Rayagada. He had gone to see, this must be in 2006-07, in a place called Kashipur, this, diarrhea deaths had happened. So he had gone there to visit along with the then health minister, Mr. Duryodhan Maji, and 2 other people. On the way back, he was supposed to have refueling in my district, where I was posted as collector, Ganjam district. So he landed. It must be 4 o'clock in the evening. So I got a call from the chief minister's office that time that CM has not had anything, including a drop of water. Please keep lunch ready so that he can have a late lunch at this time. So we had kept everything, we know the menu of the chief minister. So then they landed, they went to we took him to the place. He kept quiet and he didn't have food. All others were having food, he just kept quiet. I asked, sir, I took the liberty and asked him, sir, should we change some item or should I get something else? Or if you are liking something or you are not finding it interesting. He just kept quiet for some time and then he walked out with me and said that I don't like people dying out of diarrhea.
Oh.
And he didn't have food that day. It was very touching that there will be a chief minister who has seen diarrhea deaths and he won't have his meal, he'll miss his meal. Nobody is bothered whether the chief minister is eating or not. But to himself, he made that resolve that my people are dying, I won't have my food now.
Wow.
You asked whether he changed or not after that. So we all know that there was a huge train accident which happened.
Yes, recently.
Bahanaga. We were all doing some work at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening. Then the first message came and they said that there has been a huge accident. Then we got into the details. Then they said it's going to be hundreds of deaths. And there is one bogie, all other bogies we could reach. People could reach, the NDRF, everyone could reach. But that one bogie, nobody could reach. So,
yeah.
So it must be 8:30 in the evening. So I told the chief minister, sir, this is what happened. The one bogie is completely under the engine. And he asked me how many people would be there. Maybe 200 people. That's it. After that, every 5 minutes he kept asking, how can we save them? How can we save them? Can we get the crane from Calcutta? Can we get the crane from whichever place, part of the world? We should try and get it at the earliest. Talk to Prime Minister's office. Talk to everyone possible. Let's get that crane and try and save these people who are under the wheels. And it was dinner time for him, 9:30. So as usual, we asked, sir, you can have dinner and we can continue our rescue mission. He said, no. When so many people, this is not something which he is concerned about because Indian Railways is under, the train is coming from some place to some place and the accident happened here. See that human inside him. He said, no, let's see how fast you can get the crane, how fast you can mobilize people, how fast you can mobilize every other bogie we could take care except this bogie because the machines were not available to lift and it was completely crushed. And he missed his dinner again.
Wow. I
tried my best to motivate him. He missed his dinner and said that tomorrow morning what time we can take off to that site. I said, sir, sunrise 6:30, 6:45, 7. I'll go there and after that I'll take a call, not now. So that is Mr. Naveen Patnaik. You asked me whether he has changed in so many years. And because he has not changed, I think people of Odisha have also not changed him.
Now, have some water because I'm going to ask you some question on politics.
Okay.
One of these things is that they say Naveen Patnaik relies too much on the bureaucracy and you're one of them, now in politics. And he leaves everything to his officers and really politically his party is not involved in the development. That is one of the reasons for success, but that's also one of the reasons for his complaint. What do you have to say to that comment?
I think this is a claim which generally the opposition parties raise this claim, especially during elections they use, because they can't raise anything against him. They can't talk anything about corruption. They can't talk about service delivery. They can't talk about transparency. They can't talk about completing projects in time. They can't talk about setting benchmarks in disaster management. They have to say something about the Honourable Chief Minister. So like how in Gujarat they used to say that Mr. Modi was very dependent on bureaucracy. Like that they tell about Mr. Naveen Patnaik as well. This is not at all true. He is a Democrat in heart and he takes everyone's views very, very seriously. And he gives a lot of respect to the system And he knows from whom what work to be done, who has what strength, and finally people elect him to deliver. So he is very clear about it. Who will deliver what is the strength of his team, what is the strength of his bureaucracy, how to harmonize everything, and finally he is answerable to the people, and he does it very well. He does it in style. Every time he gets a higher percentage of votes. So that shows that people like the way how he functions, but he gives utmost respect and utmost regard to all institutions which are pillars of democracy, whether it is judiciary, whether it is legislature, whether it is cabinet, everything.
Why would people elect Mr. Naveen Patnaik for the sixth time? What do you think will happen in the next 2-3 months? The campaigning will begin next month and you'll be voting soon. What do you think will be the outcome this time?
As usual, people will bless him with a bigger majority. Every time he gets a bigger majority than the previous, so people love him so much, as reflected in your survey. So they are deeply in love with the Chief Minister for what he has done for them and what connection he has with the people of Odisha. They are very, very intelligent, and they know how to give him bigger mandates every time, so that he feels good and he delivers more, perhaps.
One more question on that. It seems like you seem to have a friendly match with the BJP. You have Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, who's you'll have supported as a candidate for the Rajya Sabha MP recently. And the fact is that when it comes to the Lok Sabha, would you say the results would be the same as last time? BJP did win quite a lot of seats last time as compared to the previous time. So what would happen on the Lok Sabha front?
Biju Janata Dal will do really well in both Assembly and Parliament. That's what all our surveys say. They are going to get one of the stupendous victories in the history of Odisha.
No friendly match with the BJP.
So as regards the friendly match, the Chief Minister clearly said in his, the BJD had released a press release. As we all know, Mr. Naveen Patnaik is not a typical politician. He won't do politics. He will do development. What did he say when Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav was supported? He said, I want railways to develop in the state. I want telecommunications to develop in the state. I support the Union Minister for Railways and Telecommunication to be a member from this state so that he does the extra mile running for the state. We all know that Odisha has one of the least coverage in railways, and one of the biggest challenge for us is telecommunications, and both are central subjects. So we needed that support from the central government. So in case he has to deliver more Rajya Sabha seats also, he will do for state. Whatever is in the interest of state, Mr. Naveen Patnaik will do. And that is the brand of politics he follows. He doesn't follow the politics of hate. He doesn't follow the politics of doing politics for the sake of politics or elections. In fact, he doesn't do politics at all till that nomination filing. Till that time, he is only bothered about the state, its development, people, empowerment, building a new Odisha. So his objectives are very clear, and people of Odisha see it very clearly.
No, so does that mean, okay, he's allowed Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav because there is development. When it comes to the Lok Sabha seats, will there be a friendly fight there also? You take 7, I'll take 10, this kind of thing?
I think some things have to wait for some more time. We should not discuss political strategies in India Today platform.
But let us come to one more question that is there, and then I will leave you off politics.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to a bit of this. Okay, Mr. Naveen Patnaik is likely to get a 6th term, that's what you're saying. One of the things that political parties, regional political parties...
Not only I am saying, you ask any one of them,
Okay.
they will all raise their hands.
We are not doing a poll here, but,
Yeah.
but I'm saying one of the things that regional parties have is the issue of succession. You have a powerful leader, we've seen it in West Bengal, you've seen it across in many states, KCR, recently Chandrasekhar Rao. Who do you think, is there a second line of leadership that has been built for the BJD? If Mr. Naveen Patnaik, for some reason, wants to step down after his 6th term, you think there is, the BJD will survive as a party and also have a proper successor?
If we all know Mr. Naveen Patnaik so closely, We all know him very clearly, how he thinks. He is very futuristic in his planning and thinking. He would have planned out something really, really nice. And as he always says, the people of Odisha are very smart, very intelligent, and they will select my successor.
Okay. You are not in that race.
The people of Odisha will select the successor for Mr. Naveen Patnaik whenever he wants, and he has clear plans for it.
Okay. Round of applause. He has not only become a bureaucrat, politician, now a diplomat, answering it properly.
At least in 100 questions, I have to show my diplomacy in 1 or 2 questions. That much concession you can give. Otherwise, I am brutally honest.
Now, coming finally to, let us see, what are you going to achieve in 5 Ts now, in the 6th term? What are you planning? How do you want to take Odisha to the next level? What is in your mind in the next 3-6 months to do? And what is the promises you give the people of Odisha?
As the Honourable Chief Minister said that in 2036, Odisha will be celebrating 100 years of statehood. So 1936 to 2036. So the Chief Minister has given us a target. Don't target 2036, target 2034. Now we are in 2024. We have to target 2034 because we should have a buffer of 2 years at least. So that if we miss some targets, we should be able to make up that. So 2024 to 2034 is 10-year period, 2 5-year terms. This is going to be the golden period for Odisha. And we have a clear route chart made as to how the people of Odisha should aspire for a new and empowered Odisha and how it will be transformed into a new and empowered Odisha. We have a clear-cut roadmap which has started in 2019. Now in 2024 to 2034, we are going to implement it in a faster, smarter, more inclusive way, which will have a huge role for youth of the state. We are going to do some things which no state has done, no country has done for the youth of the state. You might have heard about gender budget, you might have heard about climate budget, you might have heard about agri budget. We are planning to have a youth budget. If our budget is 2.5 lakh crores, a substantial sum in the next 1 decade is going to go to the youth of the state, and we'll make them more competitive, more able to achieve their dreams. So that is how we plan. The Chief Minister plans to build the new Odisha. His quote is, "New Odisha, empowered Odisha." Everyone should feel empowered to achieve their dreams. However poor they are, however rich they are, however remote they are, however in rural, urban, whatever divide they have, but they should have that guts. My child will achieve this. My daughter will achieve this. My kid will achieve this. That is the confidence you should give and build an ecosystem for that. When you allow the children, when you allow the students, when you allow the youth to dream big and empower them to achieve, I think nothing else is required. And the Chief Minister, if you see his 24 years of his government, every term he has done something substantial. Maybe first term it was poverty, corruption, disaster management, like that. You see his path, food security, irrigation, like that it is coming, then women empowerment. Now is the time for youth. That's what he has told all of us. And the youth of Odisha will show to the world what youth power is and how they can transform in the fastest possible time a state.
Let's give a very warm round of applause for that. I was just thinking while you were speaking that somehow it seems that you want to beat Mr. Modi at the game. Mr. Modi says, Viksit Bharat 2047. You are saying Naya Odisha by 2036. You almost
2034.
34. Okay.
And we are on
much
it.
earlier than
Absolutely.
And he calls it the Amrit Kal period, and you call it the golden period in the next 10 years.
I think gold is gold standard. Maybe that's all. Otherwise, there is nothing.
And finally, of course, 3 minutes. Let's ask you a personal question about what is your mantra? I mean, here, do you still jog, run? What keeps you going? What motivates you personally?
I meditate a lot. So that keeps me grounded, and that gives ideas, that gives you intuition, that gives you a peace. In fact, whenever I talk to students in college functions and everything, maybe they'll think I'm very boring, but I tell them that at least for 15 minutes start meditating. If you start meditating for 15 minutes, then you will fall in love with meditation. You will know what benefits meditation can give. It will become half an hour, it will give 1 hour. Your life changes forever. And I'm one of the biggest beneficiaries of meditation. I go with the flow. I don't have any plans. Surrender to the Almighty and go with the flow. Just meditate nicely. If you meditate, you will know that you have to take care of your physical form, which is your body. So whatever is good for you, you do yoga, you do run, you swim, you do whatever you like. But you will know the importance of keeping your body fit. You will know the importance of sleeping in time. You will know the importance of eating healthy. You will know the importance of keeping away from social media, keeping away from drugs, keeping away from drinks. So this is something which I keep telling to the youngsters whenever I meet, that just 15 minutes of meditation religiously, it makes a huge change.
Well, I'll follow that. One more minute, and I want to talk about your relationship with the Chief Minister. When you speak to him and when he speaks to you, what is it that, how do you get, the decisions out of him? What is it, a most recent example, you gave us an example earlier of how, he cared for the people, and you talked of the diarrhea incident and then the railway incident. A more recent one where when you're interacting with the Chief Minister and there is a decision, people like to understand, how do you speak to him? Is he snappy? Is he quick? Does he say, Mr. Pandyan, just do this? Or does he still call you Mr. Pandyan? Every time I see him, he says Mr. Pandyan.
What he calls depends on his mood. It changes. It keeps changing. So when you are working with somebody for so long, the relationship is very different. And it's a kind of value addition which keeps happening. We discuss things, and I'll give you a small example. It's not a very recent example, maybe like 6-7 years back. A very interesting example. One IAS officer's maternity leave application had come. So he was signing the application. I was getting the files cleared from him. So he asked, Mr. Pandyan, so IAS officers get maternity leave. I said, yes, sir. All the officers, any government servant, all of them get. So what does it mean? I said, sir, they get paid during the time because they can't go to office. They may have to rest. They may have to. So then he asked me, he had a serious look at me and asked, what about these women who are working in the field? Do they have to work till the last day till delivery? Then it struck me, perhaps yes, sir, because if they don't go to work, maybe they will not be able to get their wages and they may not be able to feed themselves, some of them at least. Maybe you have lifted some people, but many people would be still there. It was 2010-11 like that. So then he asked, can we do something? I want to give at least 10 days, let them not go to work before their delivery. Can you work out something? That's how the Mamata scheme was born, which is a path-breaking scheme for the entire country. He wanted to give money to poor women, not to work till the last day of their delivery, and let them have the freedom. If they want to work because of fitness, it's okay. But if they have pain, if they are in discomfort, they should have the choice of not going to the field and working. And he empowered them, I'm using the word consciously, empowered them to take a decision for themselves, whether they want to go to the field or not. He introduced 5,000 rupees as Mamata scheme. So government cannot just like that give money. So what do? We decided that's our work. That is my value addition or Sujata's value addition. Institutional deliveries are less in Odisha. We have to improve institutional delivery. So you do institutional delivery, you will get 2,000 rupees. Okay. Vaccination is less. You do this vaccine at this time for the child, you will get 1,000 rupees. You do this vaccine, you get 1,000 rupees. So you basically incentivized or bribed the mother to do all good things. Wonderful. By giving money. And at the same time, he also achieved the objective. He wanted to do something for the woman in the fields working under sun. She should have that freedom to decide whether she wants to work or not. So this is how our discussions happen, and you all will agree that you will get inspired if you get a chance to work like this. And I'm like completely inspired by his walk, talk, everything of the Chief Minister. That's why I don't see anything beyond him.
Well, since you mentioned Sujata, who's the boss at home? Your two IAS officers.
You know who will be the boss. Always. And I would like to take one or two questions if we have time from the audience.
Come, anyone wants a question?
Just 3 questions.
Okay, 3 questions. Here's one gentleman.
Yeah, somebody can give the mic.
Mic here, please. Is there a mic?
Because always it should be participatory.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's too boring for...
Yes. Now you're doing your politician act. Participating.
Oh, okay. No, that is taught to us in academy itself.
3 quick questions. There is a mic there. Please give it to him.
I'm Anand Kumar Mishra, and I was working in Google prior to this. Left US, came back to Odisha to start a venture of our own, which is called GrowZip. So, first of all, thank you for whatever you have done for the state and for the youth. So, for the last 5 years, we see startups coming up. More than 2,000 startups have registered, and in 2025, we are looking for 5,000 startups. So, what do you think your vision for startups to build unicorn billion-dollar ventures?
I think we'll leave very technical questions because the audience may not appreciate it. It's too technical. Ask something general, it's better.
Okay.
Everyone should be interested. This we can have a discussion separately.
What are your hobbies?
My hobbies?
Yes.
My hobby is, it differs throughout the day. Early morning my hobby is meditation. Next is running in the track. Then maybe in the day listening to music. Then in between sometimes you take 20 minutes break and watch something comedy. Refresh yourself. So throughout the day your hobby keeps changing. No fixed hobby.
Okay.
And how do you handle...
There's one more question. We've had...
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. My name is Sohan. I am one of the founder at Not In Line. Here I am, sir. So it's a healthcare-based startup. So I just want to ask you one question. Say, as we are initiating this Noah Odisha and we are developing all the things, 5T and all. So in the more hospital scheme, like how we are improving and how like people of villages are still struggling to get a bed in BSKY. We are in the healthcare industry. See, we are facing this. People are struggling to get a bed availability in lot of hospitals. Sometimes people doesn't know like which hospital has this bed available, and they are moving to different hospitals and all. How we are doing something so that it can be.
So we are going to have a technological solution for that. We'll have all the beds mapped, available in an app, from which they can easily make out where the bed is available and they'll be able to access.
Actually, we are also working on it, sir. If
Thank you.
we can pitch in.
Okay, I think one
Hi,
question
sir.
from...
Ladies as well.
Yeah, one question from here. One second. We'll just give you the mic. Yeah. Come. She's been wanting to ask.
Namaskar, sir. Many congratulations for taking the state on the path that you're taking us. I just want to know one thing, that you are actually hounded by the opposition. Where does this great confidence come from? It is so inspiring to see you walk so tall amidst all the criticism that's thrown at you.
Good
that's
journalistic question.
That's
Good
very
journalistic.
inspiring.
I don't know whether I should give a spiritual answer to this or a physical or a normal answer. Maybe I'll try a normal answer first. If you know what you are doing and you see the smile of people when you go out, that genuine smile. Today, in fact, I traveled about 55 kilometers in Brahmini embankment in 50 kilometers, and I wanted to see for myself how people get affected with that floods and what can be done and what will be a long-lasting solution. So I traveled about 30 kilometers by car and 20 kilometers, I have to travel by bike. Vinil was also there with us. When you travel in those places where you would think that you won't be recognized or you won't, that smile and that love of people is so humbling. Whatever the opposition does, whatever the opposition talks, it's all worth it and it doesn't matter at all. And also, I have also learnt a bit from our Chief Minister that you have to be clear in what you do. Forget about others. If you are truthful to yourself, first you be truthful to yourself. What you are doing is right and you will sleep peacefully at the end of the day, whatever you have done. If you have done that, continue with what you are doing. If you are not able to do that, quit. Don't continue. So, they don't exist actually. They don't exist. In fact, sometimes you have to respond or reply because you are in a situation you have to respond or reply. Given a choice, I would not reply at all or respond at all. You have a direct conversation with the people of the state or people of the country. That's much better. They are very simple, straightforward. They understand truth.
Very good one. Final question, sir. Last question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. It's
Who's him?
evening. Good evening to everyone. I like on a lighter note. I just want to ask you. There's always a woman behind a successful man, but here we find our Chief Minister, our beloved Chief Minister. You are there, a man behind a successful man. Just small question for you. You have been a bureaucrat for so many years. Right now, you have it's a new avatar for you. Can you tell us what is the transformation that you are feeling right now from a bureaucratic setup to having a political setup?
Let me first clarify the first part. I think the 4.5 crore people of Odisha are behind the Chief Minister, not me alone. It is the people's love and affection. If he has to miss a dinner, miss a day for seeing tears in people's eyes, that is his commitment, that is his conviction. So a little bit of a change. He actually considers the people of Odisha as his family. He always says that. For you are unmarried, you are a bachelor. Somebody asks, he says that, yes, I have a 4.5 crore people family. That's my family. I have brothers, I have sisters, I have sons, I have daughters for whom I have to work for. So your next question is...
The other one is it different being a politician from a bureaucrat? That's what he wants to know.
If you are a good human being with a clear heart, whatever work you do, there is absolutely no difference. You want to see that smile in the people's face, and you want to be part of little bit of changes, whatever you could make. That's it. I don't see any change between when I got up at 3:40 in the morning and as Mayurbhanj collector, and there used to be a place called Rairangpur, which is about 120 kilometers from the district headquarters, and our office starts at 6 o'clock in the morning in summers. So 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock is morning office. I got to know that most people are not coming till 8:30, and 10 o'clock they'll go back. Because it's so far, you won't go and check. So I got up at 3:30 in the morning and woke up the driver because it has to be surprise visit. Took him and went all the way to Rairangpur to check. 6:05 I was there to check whether people have reached or not. So that is the conviction with which one has to work.
Final question, Kaushik Deka, who's our executive editor from India Today. Kaushik, go ahead.
When Mr. Sengappa
I think Mike got bored.
No. He asked you about the opposition criticism about that Mr. Patnaik depends heavily on the bureaucrats like you. You mentioned about Gujarat. You gave an example of Gujarat. So that actually triggered this question. So here we have Prime Minister Modi and here we have Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik. As political leaders, could you mention one similarity between them and one difference? And I hope you would not be diplomatic this time. You have taken
one similarity between Modi Saab and Patnaik Saab, and one difference between the two.
Okay. The one similarity could be that they both are committed for their causes, and they do real hard work, real hard work.
Good one.
And the difference?
The difference, I would say, is that in the style of functioning, perhaps, as Mr. Raj Changappa was telling, that our CM is very silent. He talks very less. So maybe the way in which they carry out work, our CM gets work done without talking much, or maybe that is his style. And Mr. Modi takes reviews, takes meetings, his style of functioning is different. So maybe that is the difference. I have seen both their functioning little closely when you get to see in meetings and everything. So our Chief Minister trusts people and knows that core competence is here. So he will know where to do what. But the main difference would be that style of functioning. That's it.
You have left a lot unsaid, so let's give Karthikeyan Pandyan a very warm round of applause. He spoke frankly to us. He opened his heart out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a very, very warm round of applause.
Yes, this session deserves a standing ovation, isn't it? Everyone.